Hey, this is Michael Wang. Today we're gonna show you how to create SSL certificate. So here are the steps. So number one, so we need to create a certificate store. So after you create the certificate store, so we're gonna create the keys. The keys are so they're private key and public key. Okay, so when you create the keys, you're gonna create those private key and public key together. So after we create the keys, so we're gonna create a certificate signing request. So this is the request is something we're gonna send to the CA, the certificate authority. So they need to sign the certificate. So if your company or local organization has a local CA, so you need to send the CSR to them to get it signed. Or some company has some automatic signing certificate software. So we're gonna show you an example too. So after you get it, the CSR signed, so you will get some certificates. So usually the certificate you're gonna get it's gonna include the root certificate and intermediate certificates and the server certificate. So you're gonna need to import the certificates to the key store. So after that, so we need to configure the server to recognize that certificate. Okay, let's get started. So let's connect to the server. So I'm gonna create a folder called search. So I'm gonna put all of my certificate here. Okay, so the first two we're gonna work with the Oracle PKI. Okay, so we're gonna create the store. So this is the certificate store. So you can see there are like 4 files got generated. So the store is also called a wallet, Oracle wallet. So you can see there. So we're creating the wallet. The dot means as the current directory. PWD is a password. So auto login, that means if so when the OHS reading this certificate, reading this store, it doesn't need a password. So that means auto login. Okay, so we created the store. So the next step, we're gonna create the keys. So at this point, okay, so we create the keys. We can take a look. Okay, so we can only see a request. Okay, so we need to export this request to a file. Okay, so here is a okay, so we can see a new file. This is the file name. So we specified. So it created this file. So this is a CSR. This is a request. So we're gonna at this point. So we're gonna send this. So if we're gonna send this request to a CA to get it signed. So if you are using VeriSign or GeoCity or some other CA for your certificate, so you need to send to them or upload to their website. So then they're gonna sign. Then they're gonna send to you. Most of the time, they can send you by email or you can download. So if your organization sometimes, so you might have your own CA, so it's used at your only inside your organization. So this is called a self-signed. So you can only use inside your organization. So here we can show you an example. So we have a local CA. So we're gonna send this file to our local CA so to get it signed. Okay, so first we need to download this file. So we are under this directory. Okay, so we're gonna download. Okay, so it's downloaded. So then we're gonna go to our local CA. Okay, so you can see this my local CA is a different server. So I'm gonna put the request. I'm gonna transfer this request to this server where this is the server where my local CA sit. So this is a request file. Okay, so I have this request file. So I'm gonna sign. Well, this is the run server. Okay. So usually the certificate gonna be valid for 1 year. So that's why you see it's 365 days. Okay, so my input is a request file, my output is a certificate. So I output the certificate to the same directory where we put the request. So if you have a local CA at your place, so it might not be the same as what I have. So yours might be different. So some website allow you to just upload this you can upload your request to the website, then you click a button, then it will automatically sign. So then you can download the certificate. Okay, so I got it signed. So now I need to move my certificate to the server I work on. So you can see actually, so this is the certificate is signed, but this certificate alone is not enough. So I also need the root certificate and the intermediate certificate. Okay. So I'm gonna upload to the server where I generated the certificate request. Okay, so this is a certificate, root certificate, and intermediate certificate. So I got 3 certificates. Okay, so I got a root C is that means the intermediate certificate. I got an end certificate here. So now I need to import to my certificate store. Okay, so first I'm gonna import the root certificate. So I need to specify the password. Okay, so I imported the root certificate. I can take a look. PKI. So you can see this is the root, right? So now let me import the other certificate. So now I need to import the server certificate. So this for the server certificate. So the option here is user cert. But when I do the root certificate and the intermediate certificate, it's trusted cert. Okay, so we have the intermediate certificate and root certificate, and we have the user certificate here. So now, this is the step 5. So we imported the certificate. Now how do the application knows? So we have the certificate here, so we can use that. Okay, let's see how the OHS. So this is my OHS configuration. So I'm gonna edit this file. So in this file, so if you open this file, it starts like this. So here you can see So there's the SSL wallet. So that's the location where you have the certificate. So by default, it's pointing to this default folder. So there are some default certificates. Okay, let's see. So if I do this, so this is the default, the demo certificate is issued to localhost. So that's why we get a certificate error. So now let's change to the location where we have that. Okay, so we have that under /app01/cert. Okay, so we need to bounce the OHS. So otherwise it doesn't take effect. Okay, let's bounce that. We need to bounce the node manager too. So we're gonna start the OHS. Okay, so looks like we get some error. Alright, so let's try to stop that. Let's bounce it again. Okay, so it says successfully killed OHS. Okay. Okay, so we can see that we successfully started server OHS1. Okay, so let's go to here. So let's refresh. Okay, so you can see this becomes the log. So that means it recognizes the certificate. So if we look at the certificate, it's issued to CentOS06.wangits.com. So that match the server name. So that means our certificate is successfully implemented. So otherwise you will get error. So you get error here. So another thing is, if you're using a local CA, so if your organization is using a local CA, so the chances are, so your browser already have the root certificate in the trusted store. Okay, so we can check that. Okay, so we can check the sequence. The root. So we can see there are a lot of certificates is already in the store. So here we go. So we got a WANGITS root C. So it's already in there. So otherwise, if you don't have this, so then you get a certificate error too, because it doesn't have the root certificate to trust. So you can see it has a lot of other certificates like GU trust. Okay, so VeriSign. So those are the most popular Cs. So let's say if we go to google.com. So let's take a look. Who is okay? Let's check their certificate. Okay, so issued by GTSC. Okay, so the root certificate is from Google Trust Services. Okay. So let's see Google Trust. Okay, let's see if we have that. Google Trust. So that's global sign. So that's the Google Trust. So that's the certificate. That's the root certificate they're using. So you can see it's already in the Trusted Root Certificate Authorities store. So usually when you download the browser, so it's automatically come with that. So that's why you don't need to import any root certificate in order to visit google.com. Alright. So we demonstrate how to use the Oracle PKI. So now we look at the other two. So the other most popular tool is Java Keytool. So we're gonna show you how to use the Keytool to generate a certificate. Alright. So I'm gonna clear all of this. So now I'm gonna use the Keytool. So this comes with Java. So if you type Keytool, then it will show you the help. Okay, alright. So let's start. Okay. So let's start by creating the key and certificate store. So it's the one step. Okay, so you can see that it's a key store, so that will create our key store. And this is the algorithm, so we're using RSA. So key size 2 KB. So alias, so that's the alias. So this extension is the extension to give the SAN alternative name. So it's a subject alternative name. Okay, so we can, so in this one, so we can specify so one certificate can use for multiple server name or multiple subdomains or IP. Okay, so this is a key store. This is a certificate store. So we just create it. All right. So then, we can generate the request. Okay. So, all right. So we have a warning. Let's convert. So it did a backup. So now we have the request. So we're gonna do the similar thing. So I'm gonna send this request to my local C to get it signed, since we already demonstrated in the Oracle PKI section. So we're gonna skip that. So I'm gonna get it signed. I'm gonna come back to when I get it signed. Alright, so I got a certificate. I got a CSR signed. So here I have the certificates. I have the root certificate and the intermediate certificate and the server certificate. Okay, now I need to import this key store. Okay, so again, so I need to do the root certificate first. So here it shows the certificate. I can see, okay, I can say, okay, so this is valid until 2038. Okay, so you verify, then you say yes. Okay, so it's added to the store. So now I need to add the root, the intermediate certificate. Okay, certificate was added, and now I need to add the server certificate. Okay, so let's take a look. So we can take a look. Okay, so this lists the certificate. Okay, so we have this is a private key. So root certificate, root intermediate certificate. Okay, so we specify -v, so you're gonna show more detail. Okay. So we have the root certificate. So this is the intermediate certificate, valid until 2028. So this is a server certificate. So for this server, and they're gonna valid until July 23rd of 2021, which is a year from now. Alright. So now we imported all of the certificate to the certificate store. So now, let's see, how do we use this certificate, right? Okay, so we have the WebLogic server, so we have this. Okay, so we can see we got a certificate error. So if you look at the certificate, so it's a demo certificate. Okay, so this is a demo from the Oracle installation. Alright, let's see if we can use the certificate we just created so we're gonna implement that to the WebLogic. So we're gonna go to the console. Okay, so our admin server may be down, so let's start it. Alright, so it started. Let's log into the WebLogic. Okay, so we're gonna see if we can use the certificate for this WebLogic server. Okay, so first, so we have the SSL port enabled, so we are listening on 87, 89. So first we go to the keystores tab. So by default is a demo identity and demo trust. So we're gonna change that to the one we have. So we're gonna change to custom identity and custom trust. Okay, so here we need to specify. Okay, so this is the file we created on the server. So this is our key store. Right. So this is keystore.jks. So that's our key store. So identity store type, so that's GKS, because that stands for the Java. So this is the password we used. So when we create the certificate, so we have the store password. So this is the store password I used. So now here the trust, so we can see the same thing because we are using the same certificate store, but you could use a different certificate store if you like. Okay, so then it's the same password. So then we click the SSL. Okay, so here is the private key alias. So that's the one we used when we create the certificate. Now here is the private key path phrase. So we are actually using the same password as the key store, but this private key path phrase, so that can be different from the store password. So they are actually different thing. So they're independent of each other. So we are using the same one, but this is a private key path phrase. So if you use a different one, you need to input that different one here, right? So just say save, active. Okay, so it says, okay, activated, no restarts are necessary. So let's see. Okay, so we previously, so we got this certificate error, so because it was demo certificate. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, so we see it becomes a log. So now let's take a look at the certificate. Okay, so this is the certificate we just created. So it's valid to 7/23/2020 to 7/23/2021. So if you look at this detail, okay, so you can actually, you're supposed to see the sun because we use the extension, but this is might be because of my local C, so I don't see that. So if you look at the certificate path, so this is the root certificate, the intermediate certificate, this is the end server certificate. Alright, so this is how to create the SSL certificate and how to implement, how to use that with OHS and WebLogic. So if you use different tools or different format of the certificate, so you can actually convert the certificate from one format to another. Okay, let's see how do we convert. Okay, so we have a GKS. So GKS certificate store. So now let's say we want to convert to the Oracle wallet. Okay, so how do we do that? So let's create a wallet first. So we created the wallet. This is so let's convert our JKS keystore. So let's convert that to the wallet. Okay. So you can see. So when we create it, it's just empty. So now we put all of the keys and and certificates in the wallet. Let's take a look. Okay. So here are the user certificates and trusted certificate. So how do we, if we created this Oracle wallet certificate store, so how do we convert to the GKS? Okay. Okay, so we put the new keystore to the file called newstore.jks. So that's how we convert. Okay, so that you can see that it produces a new store.jks. So that this file is come from the wallet. So let's take a look. List. Let's take a look at this new store. Okay, let's okay, so it has a private key, has root C, has root. Okay, let's see if VC minus V, so it's gonna show more detail. So this is the root certificate, root C. So it's a root certificate. It's gonna valid to year 2038. So this is the intermediate certificate. So it valid to 2028. So this is our server certificate, so it's valid for 1 year. Okay, hold on. So this is our server certificate. You can see that this is a CN. Okay, so it's valid for a year from now. Okay, so So today we showed how to create the certificate using Oracle PKI and Keytool. So, and we also show how to convert. So if you use one tool to create the certificate, then you can convert to another format. Okay, so that conclude today. Thanks for watching.